On this report from the workshop, I am going to show you my progress on my general store / pet rescue clock. Remember the brick from last time? I've now got that as a box. Also, I am going to update you on my Hickory Flat Clock. That's been a long way in the progress. Some things just take longer for the right inspiration to come along. And then I'm going to show you my Birdwatcher clock, all done and in action. In the last video, I showed you that I tested the brick for the Pet Rescue general store clock, and it worked out. So then I went into my Vectric software and I designed the parts for the clock itself. And here's the brick. It's a simulation of the two sides of the clock. The brick actually being cut out with one drill bit and then another drill bit to cut out the shapes themselves. So next I headed down to the workshop in the barn and my iconic CNC router and cut the pieces out. Of course, this is the time that tells everything. And then I put it together to see if it would work. Once I had the case for the Hickory Flat Clock figured out, so I had the size and the shape and I knew that the movement would fit, it was time to do the decoration. I had already put birch bark on the front, also hickory leaves up at the top and the peak, all gathered from the farm. I discovered that I really needed some uniform twigs for the trim and the sides of the box. So I found a source for willow and then bandsawed them. And for the other parts, I did decide to still forage around the house, the farm, and I found some pieces like for the vestibule. The clock dial, I found a source of nice dry aged cookies, as they call them, and had Paul Barney do the laser cutting on them. So it has really come together, including the owl. And the owl I decided to sculpt and then scan and 3D print from a wood PLA mix and then mount it on the bird wire that the cuckoo bird would normally sit on. And then of course we have the bellows, which I import from Germany, and they are really owl bellows. And once I got to test it, do my first test, I just handheld my camera and I was so excited because boy, it sounds so good. Hoo-hoo. I have to admit, it's pretty darn amazing having a cuckoo clock that I made totally from scratch, cuckooing in my workshop. This one, most of the parts were made by Paul Barney of Lasting Impressions. All the trees and everything are laser cut, and even the dial is laser etched. And I'm really pleased with the way that it ended up with the layers and the colors. And I'm thinking of actually making another design, maybe a fishing design, starting from this concept using the same box. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can keep up on all the cuckoo-ness going on here at the farm at the American Cuckoo Clock Company.